Which is more dangerous? A bad king or the man whispering in his ear? A king's mistakes die with him. An advisor's mistakes get signed in someone else's name. And one man on this list talked his emperor into marching the biggest army his empire could raise into an ambush. Welcome to Ranked History, where we rank the past so you don't have to repeat it. Today, the 5 worst advisors in history. The rules. 1. They advised. They never wore the crown. 2. The disaster followed their advice directly. 3. The wreckage landed on their own country. Number 5. George Villiers, Duke of Buckingham, the most powerful man in England, hired for his looks. King James I met the handsome young Villiers and made him a duke within a decade. When Charles I inherited the throne, he inherited Buckingham too, and handed him England's entire foreign policy. Buckingham's first production was the raid on Cadiz in 1625. His soldiers landed, found the wine cellars, and the assault dissolved into history's most heavily armed drinking party. His second was relieving the siege of La Rochelle. Of the 7,000 men he led to the Isle of Ré, barely half came home. Parliament tried to remove him. Twice. Charles dissolved Parliament both times to save his friend, and every dissolution taught England's political class that the crown would choose one man over the law. The bill for that lesson came due a generation later, in a civil war. Buckingham never saw it. In 1628, a veteran of the Ré disaster stabbed him in a Portsmouth inn, and the country celebrated so openly that the king had to bury him at night. Number 4. The Count-Duke of Olivares, proof that a hard-working disaster is worse than a lazy one. Olivares ran Spain for King Philip IV, and nobody could accuse him of idleness. He rose before dawn, worked 18-hour days, and carried state papers everywhere he went. Every hour made Spain smaller. He kept Spain locked in the 30 Years' War and renewed the war with the Dutch, while the treasury was already paying its debts in devalued copper. Then came his master plan, the Union of Arms. Every Spanish kingdom would share the cost of every Spanish war, whether it agreed or not. Catalonia did not agree. In 1640, it rose in revolt. Portugal watched, decided the moment had come, and declared independence the same year. Spain lost a province and an entire kingdom within months, while its best army was busy elsewhere, losing. Philip finally dismissed him in 1643. Olivares died 2 years later, reportedly raving. Spain's century as the superpower of Europe died with his policies, and Olivares only broke provinces. The next man hollowed an empire out from inside its own palace. Number 3. Sejanus, the bodyguard who spent a decade deleting everyone his emperor trusted. Sejanus commanded the Praetorian Guard, Rome's imperial protection detail. His first move was concentrating all 9 cohorts into one camp at the edge of Rome. Thousands of armed men, one commander, walking distance from the Senate. Then he went to work on the Emperor Tiberius, isolating him from rivals, feeding his suspicions, and, according to the historian Tacitus, poisoning the emperor's own son so quietly it took 8 years for anyone to find out. When Tiberius retired to the island of Capri in 26 AD, Sejanus effectively ran the empire, and Rome's elite learned to flatter him or disappear. Treason trials became the growth industry of the decade. It ended in a single morning in 31 AD. A letter from Capri, read aloud in the Senate, ending with the order for his arrest. He was executed by nightfall, and the purge of his allies bloodied Rome for years. The lasting damage? The Praetorians had learned that the Guard could run the empire. Rome never fully took that lesson back. Number 2. Grigori Rasputin, the healer whose cure killed the patient. Russia's imperial couple had a secret. The heir, Alexei, had hemophilia. A scratch could kill him, and doctors were helpless. Then came a Siberian peasant mystic whose presence, by accounts from the court itself, calmed the boy when nothing else did. Whether that was hypnosis, luck, or his advice to stop the doctor's aspirin, historians still argue. The empress didn't argue. To her, he was sent by God. That faith became policy. When Nicholas II left for the front in 1915, the empress ran the government, with Rasputin at her ear. Ministers came and went so fast the capital called it ministerial leapfrog. 4 prime ministers in 2 years, some owing their jobs to the mystic's approval. Meanwhile, the drunken scandals piled up in the newspapers, and every one of them stuck to the crown that protected him. In December 1916, a group of monarchists murdered him to save the monarchy's reputation. They were about 10 years late. Within 3 months, the dynasty was gone. One advisor left, the one who managed to lose the emperor himself. Number 1. Wang Zhen, the palace tutor who organized the most expensive field trip in history. Wang Zhen taught the Ming crown prince as a boy, and when that boy became the Zhengtong emperor, the tutor became the most powerful man in China. In 1449, Mongol raiders under Yi Sen crossed the frontier, and Wang Zhen decided his sheltered 22-year-old emperor should answer them personally, at the head of the biggest army the dynasty could raise. Chinese records claim 500,000 men. Modern historians say fewer, and that it didn't matter, because Wang Zhen was in charge of it. The campaign found no enemy, ran out of supplies in the rain, and turned for home. And here the traditional account delivers one of history's great details. Wang Zhen routed the retreat past his hometown to show off the emperor, then changed his mind, fearing 500,000 boots would trample his family estates. The army zigzagged, lost days, and camped at a post station called Tumu. Without water, Yi Sen's cavalry closed in from the hills and annihilated them. Wang Zhen died in the chaos, by some accounts, killed by his own furious officers. And the Zhengtong emperor was taken alive, the only Ming emperor ever captured by an enemy in battle. The most populous empire on earth, checkmated by its own tutor. The capital only survived because one minister, Yu Qian, refused to panic. The 5 worst advisors. Buckingham sank England's fleets. Olivares cracked Spain in half. Sejanus purged an empire's elite. Rasputin helped a dynasty destroy itself. And Wang Zhen lost an army, a war, and the emperor in one afternoon. Different centuries, same lesson. The throne matters less than who stands beside it. Tell me in the comments which advisor I missed. Next time, the shortest reigns in history. Subscribe. This channel accepts no advice from palace tutors.